Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Touchdown Talk podcast, the best
Touchdown
podcast for
talk.
all things sports. I'm your boy, Anthony, and with me tonight, as always, my amazing co hosts, Ryan and Evan. What's up,
What up?
gentlemen?
What up? What up?
What's up, Tony?
So, we got a packed episode for you guys tonight. We are, unfortunately, very depressed because our
hmm
boys, the Boston Celtics, lost for them, I'm going to say a bad series. They lost 4-2, and they're going home, and our back to back championship dreams are shot.
Is that why you're shrouded in complete darkness except for the green light on your face? For
Yes.
remembrance
Remembrance
of
of the
the
Celtics.
Celtics and the green
I should
lives
put my
on.
I should put my jersey on for this one.
I know. I put my jersey
That
on
and
before the
because we
game to
lost
try
the
to.
light.
Yeah, you lost the light, man. I was trying to channel some energy there, but no,
Yeah.
didn't work, man. But how about the Knicks, though? Congrats to the Knicks. I mean, I seen like the side talk videos or any sort of the videos from New York of all the
Yep.
people just going crazy, like "fuck Boston, whoa boy," and it's like, all right, bro, take it easy. You still got a ways to go. Still got to beat the Pacers, make it to the finals, and then probably beat the Thunder. So
You can look.
just
You could
hold
easily
on to
look
your
at.
britches, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You could look at any Knicks fan and say, "When's your last championship?"
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I think, again, props to the Knicks for winning the game, for winning the series. At that, of course. But it was a tough. The two games you played your best, the two games you won, and
Yep.
when you only play two good games in a series, you're not winning that series. Again, I I was a big believer of you lost the first two games by a combined 2-3 points,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
4 points.
this team's right there. Like I expected Boston to then run the floor, and I wouldn't say I expected 6 after those two games because I didn't expect Boston to. Well, I expected 7. I didn't expect Boston just to wipe the floor and then win 4 straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
I didn't expect them to lose in 6.
I don't think any of us did.
No.
I mean, I've been, as Ryan knows, I originally said that the Boston Celtics would make it out of the East, but whoever came out of the West was going to absolutely destroy them. I did not see them losing to the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, though. That was
Right.
kind of crazy to me.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I
Again,
think a
I
lot of
expected a great
people
series, but
had Cleveland, Boston already penciled in for the Eastern Conference Finals.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
most people didn't see it going any other way. And of course, we didn't get either of those teams in the finals.
hmm
I mean, I think Boston really just like after blowing 2 20-point leads in those first two games, obviously you're not setting yourself up for success, but they weren't playing a consistent, sustainable brand of basketball. They
Right.
were chucking up threes,
hmm
and that's not sustainable. And even in game 3, when it worked for them and they did have a runaway win that we thought they were going to have, I think they ended up winning by 16 or something, but
hmm
they were up by 20 and held on to that lead.
Yeah, right.
Because they were actually hitting their shots. They shot 60% from 3. Well, you're not going to get that game after game in a 7-game series. You're going to have to find some other way to
hmm
score and another way to win. And the Knicks know how they play. The Knicks are
Right.
very aware of the way that Boston plays the game, and they knew how to counter it. And when it came down to those tight games, they had Brunson, clutch player of the year, the guy who you want to have the ball in that tight game situation, and he showed up, along with Mikal Bridges being such a great addition for the Knicks defensively, getting stops at
Right.
the end of the game, and just like they honestly, like, the way that they built their team feels a lot like the way the Celtics built their team. Is just like you got your superstar in Brunson, aka
Mhm.
Tatum, like that level of superstardom. You have like your secondary supporting guy in Cat, which would be the equivalent of Jaylen Brown,
Jaylen Brown.
and then you got other supporting people that are more defensive but also have some scoring upside, like
Right.
Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, who are just crazy defenders but can also score if they get hot. And you got guys like Derek White and Drew Holiday that serve that role for the Celtics. So like those teams have a similar DNA, and it feels like the Knicks honestly have a pretty good chance of beating the Pacers. The
Mhm.
Pacers also feel like a pretty complete team as well, and they've been playing team basketball to beat the Cavs to make it. That's going to be a hell of a series. But the thing I want to talk about
Yeah,
with the Celtics is, go ahead.
I think that's going to be a knockdown, drag out 7-game series. It's just a back
Oh
and
yeah,
forth game. No team is
I
going to
hope so.
have. I I'd be very surprised if if more than 2 of those games there's a 15-point lead. Like if they win by 15,
Mhm.
maybe like end of the game,
Yeah,
someone puts like their bench guys in, they kind of run away with it a little bit. But like I don't see any one of those games being outside the 10-point range. I expect at any point in time for a team to go on an 8-point run, and you're like, it's a game again.
yep.
I fully expect that for this whole series coming up.
Because you've seen it. You've seen it in both of
Yep.
their respective series prior. Obviously, the Knicks
Right.
doing it against the Celtics, and the Pacers coming back against the Cavs, hitting buzzer beaters. Doing it, they did it against the Bucks too. They came back. I mean, literally the one podcast episode where they were playing the Cavs while we were filming, and I was like, the
Hmm.
Cavs were up by 20, and I was like, yeah, I just pencil them in. And
Right.
then Halliburton hit the game winner, and like neither one of these teams feels like you can count them out, and that's just a recipe for a really good matchup. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see
exactly.
it.
And I give all the props to the Knicks on beating the Celtics. You came in, you showed them who's boss. Like
Mhm.
nothing
Yeah.
else they're gonna be able to do.
Yeah.
And Mikal Bridges is a hell of a player. And even though he's like a third or fourth guy on that team, whichever one you want to call him, he is awesome. Like after playing 51 minutes in that first game, and then coming out game 2 and playing crazy defense, like he's just good. I don't think he's missed a game in like 3 seasons.
Yeah. He has the record for like consecutive starts
Yeah.
in a career or something, or at least current. Like he's played so many games in a
Um,
row. It's insane.
Yeah, I think among current players, I think he's towards the top or is the top.
Even the last game of the season where they were resting their starters, he came in for like 20 seconds just so he could say he started the
Mhm.
game, and then he
Yep.
came right out. So funny.
Yep.
I mean, that's a Tom Thibodeau type of guy. I mean,
Yes.
they were up by how much at the end of that Celtics game? They were up by 30 or something stupid. And
Hmm.
Thibodeau still has all his starters in. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Imagine freaking Brunson gets hurt
Well,
in garbage time while you're up by 30. How
that's what
stupid does
happened to
that
Derrick
look?
Rose. That's what
Exactly.
happened to Derrick Rose.
Exactly. How do you
So, like,
not learn
again,
from that?
that's just his philosophy as a coach, and I see the point of, hey, if we put our best guys out there for 3/4 of the game, we should win.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I get that.
I was gonna say Thibodeau is a guy. He's like what Evan said, the philosophy. I mean, he's like a no one got coach like that. He does not. No lead is safe for his team. He
Hmm.
just always keeps it going.
And it's not that
And
he doesn't trust his. God, sorry.
oh no, no, you're good.
And again, it's not that he doesn't trust his players. He's more just thinking of, if we can just keep piling on points, we're gonna win.
Yeah,
He's like,
Yeah.
if our top guys just keep scoring, we're gonna win. Why? Again, I don't think it's that he doesn't have faith in his younger players. I think it's more just, hey, they're the safe bet. This is the playoffs. go out there and play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
And they're a team that they're no lead is safe against them either. Like as
Mm-hmm.
we clearly saw, the Boston Celtics absolutely blew those first two games, but that was also partly a big shout out to the Knicks because they never gave up. They always kept
Right.
going. And they're just that team. They're that team
Yep.
where you cannot stop the gas pedal. The Pacers cannot stop. They have to keep going. They have to keep scoring
Mm-hmm.
against the Knicks because
Gotta
they're
keep that foot down.
capable of going on a run at any time.
Yeah.
And they do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the other thing that we're not talking about, it's obviously great to talk about the teams that made it, but the thing with the Celtics is
Oh my
Tatum.
god.
He's going to be out for probably a calendar year. So,
Yep.
I mean, the Celtics going into next season basically have to operate. And we talked about this over text, was like, they have to basically function without Tatum. You're going into next season. If you're Joe Mazzulla, go into next season knowing that you're not going to have your star player.
Mm-hmm.
Until
Figure out another way to win.
at least April.
Yeah.
Right.
At least. And again, I hope that the Celtics, as a fan, of course, obviously there's nothing that I can do, but I hope that they don't rush him back.
Yeah.
If they're on like the 9 seed, like looking into the playoffs, or if they're like on like that cusp of the play-in, don't rush him back.
No.
Yeah.
Don't.
Just
Let your
chill.
guys play. Let your guys play. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Because last thing you want is him to get hurt again, and then it just snowballs and it gets even worse. I feel like we've seen that with other players in the NFL, NBA, whatever it is, with these kind of muscle
absolutely.
injuries. Guys rush back in 6 months, like, oh yeah, I'm good to go, and then 2 weeks later, like, oh yeah, I'm getting a cleanup done. Like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a rare breed to really bounce back from something like that in a short time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, Kobe did it in a very short time frame came back and still played well. I mean, you're never going to be exactly how you were before, but
right.
Kevin Durant tore his Achilles as well, and he's still one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like it's not over for Tatum by any
Correct.
means. It definitely, like, he's 27 now.
Yeah.
So by the time he fully recovers from this, he'll be 28 or about to turn 28. So it's going to be probably, like, we probably won't ever see the Tatum that we saw this year and last year. We won't see that Tatum again, and that's fucking sad.
You'll see more reserved driver. I think he'll sit back a little bit more. He won't be. He might not be as explosive, but I think he'll try and still drive a little bit. But I think he'll become more of a shooter at this point.
I think he'll still drill threes for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That low-key scares me though, because I feel like he already does that enough. Like,
I mean, yeah,
I feel like he needs to drive the ball in more. Yeah. And now that he isn't gonna have the physical capability to do it, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a little scary.
Yes, it's not that he can't do it ever again. I'm saying he's gonna be a little bit, maybe just like a touch slower, so you might not go to it as much. But also, Jaylen Brown is an incredible slasher at the rim.
Yeah,
dude just gets to the rim, and that's your guy for it. I would say from now on, is if you want to play at the hoop, it's gonna be Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Or give me 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis when he's not sick.
I mean, well, that's the next thing is, what do you do with Porzingis? What do you do with Holiday? What do you do with some of these extra guys? Like, I mean, this core that you won a championship with, now you're without your superstar player. It's gonna shift the whole makeup of the team, and they're gonna have to figure out who to get rid of, honestly, because they got to ship somebody out. I feel like
Oh,
I don't think they
absolutely.
can keep everybody that they have. They have to keep
They're screwed
obviously
for
Tatum
money.
and Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they're in a
Tatum,
huge situation.
Brown, Derek White all signed a new contract last offseason after they won the championship, like 3 days later.
Mm-hmm.
They all signed huge deals.
Yeah, I mean,
I
well,
think,
Brown was already on a supermax deal. Tatum got a
Yeah.
supermax.
yep. I think Kristaps and Drew Holiday get traded,
Yep.
and
I like that.
I think Derek White and Pritchard now become your point guard and shooting guard for the team.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown plays the 3. Someone in that trade for Drew Holiday or Drew Holiday and Kristaps, that becomes your 4. And then you're going to have Luke Cornett playing your 5.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
Or-
I was
honestly.
gonna say,
Or still Al Horford.
Oh my.
yeah, Al, but I love Al.
I can see him
Don't get me
retiring.
wrong,
I
but
can see him
he's gonna.
retiring.
Yeah, I mean, he can't play crazy minutes. He can't be your starting center workhorse, like play through the whole game. You need somebody to back him up, whether it's Cornette or someone else. And losing Tatum, if they get rid of KP, you're losing a lot of size there. So whoever they get in return is gonna have to be a power forward or center with some size and some fucking shot blocking ability at the fucking rim, because Lord knows they need that.
I think Giannis would be a good option.
Bro, let's do it.
They would have I feel like to get Giannis though, they would have to give up one of those 2 big pieces in Tatum or Brown.
Brown would leave.
Same thing with
Brown would have to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Not that I want either of them to leave. I think the way that they play and their dynamic together is phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah.
But it also feels stupid to trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis when Tatum's realistically only out for 1 year, and then he's going to come back and they both play power forward. I mean, Tatum could probably play small forward, and he probably has and does. But then you have no strength. I mean, you do. You have Derek White, but your guards are a lot weaker than your forwards at that point. You're almost too heavy. You have like 2 of the best forwards in the game then.
Right. So Jaylen Brown used to play the 2 guard or the shooting guard, and then Tatum used to play the 3, the small forward spot when they first came in, because they're both a little small. They didn't put on the NBA weight yet. And once they did and kind of adapt to the game, said, oh, we're just going to move them down a little bit. Then Jaylen Brown can just drive past most small forwards, and Tatum can just play basketball and just be really good at what he does and shoot over power forwards. just be you, dude.
Go out there and just be Himothy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
So it's it'll be interesting to see what the future holds.
Yeah. What you got, Tony?
I was just gonna say, I think I hate to say it, but I feel like no matter what, next year is not a championship year now. Like, we know that for a fact, I feel like. Because you're going to be without Tatum. Brown, I feel like Brown just showed you that he can't really do it by himself. He had the opportunity, and he kind of just completely folded a little bit. Yep. And Brown has, as great as Brown is, he still has a decent amount of issues. So I feel like you can't.
He had 2 games.
I know, but
I figured it's a really small sample size to say that he can't do it. That's my thing. Also, you're playing against another top team in the East,
and that's the playoffs, and you're already down in the series in the playoffs.
But my thing is, that's with the team they have now, and they're not even going to have those pieces to help him next year.
Correct. Oh no, I could
Mm.
see it being a down year next year.
I mean, it feels. I agree. I don't feel super strong about Jaylen Brown being the guy. I obviously like Tatum more as the guy and Brown as the supporting guy, but Jaylen Brown, like we said, got that supermax extension. Like, bro's making superstar money, so go out there and be a fucking superstar. You're getting
Yeah,
paid like one, so show us that you're worth the money that we're paying you, because you're all we got now. So you
Oh,
gotta take the team and put the team on your back, because there's really no other option.
right.
And it's
absolutely.
gonna be a prove it year for Jaylen Brown, I feel like, to
Hmm.
prove it to people that he can operate like on his own, you know?
Definitely.
Not that anybody wanted it to be that way, but
Yep.
we'll find out if he's meant for the spotlight by himself pretty quickly.
Definitely.
So Jaylen Brown he's a number one, like most other teams he go if he went to, he would be a number one guy.
100%.
I feel like. So I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it. My thing is, I just don't know if they're gonna have the pieces to help him out next year. Because,
Right. Yeah.
like I like, in my opinion, Porzingis. I'm sorry, he has to go. He's not worth 30 million a year. I
Yeah,
hate
I
to
agree.
say it. I hate to say Drew Holiday. I want to keep him, but I feel like there's no other way around for them to keep him. I feel like they have to let him go if you're gonna keep Derek White, which obviously they are.
Right.
So you're not going to have Holiday. You're not going to have Porzingis anymore. Al Horford, again, I'm sorry. I love him. Great. He's going to go down as a Boston legend, but it's just your time, man. I think it's time for him to go as well. And unless they can get like a dominant big man somehow, I don't know. Because
Mm.
you can still shoot, because you'll still have Pritchard, White, and then Jaylen Brown can shoot a little bit also. It's just the big men. I don't know who's gonna get boards for you. Who's gonna be
Yeah.
physical?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like that's what really killed us against the Knicks. Like they were just so much way more physical. They out rebounded us so
Yep.
much,
Mhm.
Yep.
and you're gonna have bad shooting nights. And
Yeah.
whenever you have a bad shooting night, you're automatically gonna lose because you can't do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I could
You need
see
that.
um is it Jordan Walsh, one of the kids that plays,
Yeah.
he's younger.
Yeah.
I could see him possibly getting the call up to like actually like sit on the bench and actually come off the bench for this team next
Hmm.
season.
Yeah.
Or if he plays really well, he could battle for that starting spot at the 3 or the 4. I don't know which position he plays, I'll be honest.
I think he is
I
a
think he plays the
power
2, the
forward.
3, or the 4.
Yeah, I think he's a
He's,
forward. Yeah.
I believe he's a forward, but I
You
could
know,
see him possibly getting the call up.
you know who else is good that they have is Kita.
Ida,
Kita?
yeah.
Kita or Kita?
I think it's
Um,
Kada. I believe it's
Kita. I
Kada.
think it's Kita, yeah.
It's Kada, yeah.
But he's had some flashes where he comes into the game and has
Mhm.
a decent impact and
Yeah,
some
definitely.
putback dunks and some rebounding and stuff. He's I think he's a center, so yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him get a little bit more of a role,
Definitely.
Hmm.
because Joe
Cool.
Mazzulla has talked about him, giving him high praise too.
Cool.
So, we got some depth on this team. It'd be nice to see some of those
Yeah.
young guys develop a little more. So,
The thing that sucks is that sometimes I feel like Joe Mazzulla should have played those guys a little bit more.
yeah.
Because,
In the playoffs?
no, just like in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like they haven't got too much minutes, and because of that, it's still like we don't know. Like we really don't know how those guys are going to
Yeah.
turn out.
Right.
Right.
So I just wish we had a better understanding of, like next year. if those guys can really take the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the overarching theme of all of this is a championship window can close really quick.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen the last time someone went back to back was the Warriors in, was it 16, 17 or 17, 18?
I believe so.
You know, it
We might be
was,
I
off.
think
Might be
so.
off on those years. Maybe a
it,
little
it
off on those
was,
years, but I think we're close.
it was the war. It was
was the
definitely the
Warriors. It
Warriors
was the
that did it
Warriors.
last
Yes.
time, like with Durant.
Mhm.
But since then, it's been a different team every year. Like no team sustains that, right? Like
Right.
the Nuggets, you see it with the Nuggets. They just got eliminated today. We're going to talk about them
Yep.
in a little bit. You know, before that, who was before that? The Warriors again.
The Warriors
When they played
yeah.
the Celtics, you know, they
Yep.
haven't made it back. You know,
And then the
we're
Bucks.
the Bucks.
Bucks, Suns.
Right. Suns never made it back.
Suns never made it back.
Right? Like, and it's kind of nice because at least we get to see a new matchup in the finals every year. But it's like there's no dynasty right now. It's like
Yeah.
who's next? Who's next? Who's next? You know,
Yep.
it's just sustaining guys and keeping guys healthy is really, really tough. So
Yep.
it feels like that's what the Celtics are suffering from right now. And same thing with the Nuggets, like I just said. And that kind of parlays us into our discussion about the Western Conference Finals,
Yeah.
which are set as of today. The Oklahoma City Thunder totally blew the Nuggets out today, and they
Yeah.
move on to the Western Conference Finals to face the Timberwolves. They're going to see my boy, Anthony Edwards. It's going to be a prove it moment for Ant, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because the
It's
Thunder.
It's to prove it for the Thunder in general, I would say. And to prove it for both these teams.
For both these teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're both young. I mean, they both have some awesome pieces on their teams. We'll see what happens.
I'm just gonna come out and say I think the series also probably goes to 7. I think.
Yeah. I hope
Yeah,
so.
I like
I
that.
hope so. I would
I
love
think so too.
2 good conference finals that go 7 games, and then the final goes however many.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, yeah, I think it's gonna be another great series coming up.
Absolutely. And I mean, we talked about how obviously we predicted Cavs Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if we definitely predicted OKC making it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I don't know if I officially made a prediction of who they would face, but I remember talking about how scary the Timberwolves were. I talked about the Warriors too, but
You did.
the Timberwolves,
Yes.
man, like when I first talked about them, they were still like a play-in team, and I'm like, that doesn't feel like a play-in team.
Yep.
They feel like better than that, and they honestly have surprised even me by making it back to the Western Conference Finals for the second year in a row. Hopefully this time they can prove it and make it to the finals, because I would love to see that. And hey, maybe we get a new face of the NBA, just like we were talking about last episode.
Yeah, it's possible.
Right?
Yeah, we're still waiting on the MVP, right? The one MVP.
Yeah, the
so.
MVP has not been announced yet.
Not been announced yet.
Yeah. It's probably
we all
like
know.
we talked about. Yeah, we know who it's going to. I think.
Yeah.
Even if Ant does win this series,
well, it'll get
Shai
announced
wins
afterwards, won't it?
Yeah, but they already voted on it, though, right?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I mean, even
okay,
Shai just beat Jokic, so
right,
kind of works.
Right. No, I am not upset that Shai's gonna win it at all. I think he's
right.
I kind of am. I'm a little bit upset.
Really?
Yeah. I
mean,
what does Shai do?
He's the best player on the best team.
Well, sure.
So if that's gonna be the MVP, then That opens
Well,
up a whole different can of worms that we can't really get into in this episode.
but
I know.
Jokic is a better player. He's just not on as good of a team.
Well, we talked about this already, though. Jokic won't win it because they don't give it to people
I
2
know
years
he
in a row.
won't. I said this before. I know he won't, but he fucking should.
Right. And we all said that. We all said, like, originally, like, Jokic should
And I feel like
win it.
everybody knows it. And it's like, why can we not just fucking vote for the person who actually deserves it? I don't know. It does kind of make sense. Like, if I was a voter and I kept writing the same guy's name every year, I'm like, all right, can we just give it to someone else?
Let's change it up. Right.
I kind of get that too, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the Thunder and the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. I mean,
good.
Watching the Thunder beat the Nuggets today, it just reminds me of something that I've said about the Thunder before, is like watching their defense today against Jokic in particular was like, it's like, dude, Alex Caruso is guarding Jokic and he's like a problem.
Yeah.
Like Jokic is like annoyed by him because it's like he's such a pest. And it's just like this smothering defense. Even players other than Jokic, like as soon as they get the ball, someone's on them right up in their face. And they have no space. They have no ability to maneuver the ball. Like this defense for the Thunder is just so good at just like strangling a team and making it really hard for them to put up points. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the Timberwolves will be able to navigate that defense. Because, I mean, they faced the Lakers and the Warriors, like some decent defenses, but nothing like the Thunder.
Yeah.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if they're really ready for the challenge. And when Anthony Edwards gets double teamed, which he inevitably will, is he gonna find the open man? Is he gonna be able to get it to his teammates? The same thing we've been talking about with Ant-Man for the past 2 series is because every team that plays against them just doubles him. So it's going to be up to him to distribute the ball and make sure that everybody can eat. And, guys like Gobert and Randall are going to really have to out-rebound the Thunder as well if they want to win too.
Right. So you were talking defense. I'm going to harp on the offense a little bit.
Go for it.
Thunder played out of their minds on offense today as well.
Yeah.
Shai had 35. I took a few notes down during watching the game because I was like, I want to make sure I hit these points during the podcast today.
Yeah.
And one of them was the Thunder love the extra pass. They love that, okay, I'm open, but the guy in the corner is wide open.
Yeah.
Like, guy's going to be to close me out. I'm going to pass it off to the guy that's wide open, have him shoot it. It reminds me of, I think it was the Spurs when they went on their run, and then when LeBron Heat days.
Yeah.
When they were just like one of the best passing teams in the NBA. Like they just knew how to work the ball around and find the open guy all the time. And the Thunder take the right shot at the right time as well. It's not this, I'm going to go back to the Celtics real quick. It's not get the ball across half. Oh, sweet. Derek White, I'm open. Pull. No.
Yeah.
Work the ball around. See, there's a better option. Again, if you're butt booty naked, wide open, and you're right at the 3-point line, like, you know what? I'm pulling it. Fine. But still, I mean, this Thunder team just gets good shots all the time. And if it's a drive to the basket, cool. You're right there at the basket. I will never be upset with a guy get blocked on a layup. You're right there. It's just good defense on it. That's really all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But their offense was just awesome today.
When I look at the Thunder, that's kind of how I wish the fucking Celtics played like, honestly.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
the Celtics have played like that before.
Yeah, before this
year. And that's when they were really good last year, was when they were moving the ball and they were really good passing and getting those open looks and like corner threes and stuff like that. And honestly, that is what makes a really good team, I think, is passing, ball movement. Just like confusing the defense, getting them in rotation, and having that guy that just, it's like, oh shit, that guy's fucking wide open. Whoops.
Yep. It causes confusion around the whole defense, and it's crazy that just moving a ball back and forth between 5 guys in just a completely random fashion is perfect.
Right. But there is like a science to it, because you could see at times the Nuggets were trying to do that, but the Thunder, like, it's like the Thunder could like almost see the future. Like they knew where the ball was gonna go. The Thunder weren't confused. They knew.
No.
So the Nuggets were trying to get some ball movement, and they were just getting picked off because the Thunder were just so well prepared and were giving them very little space to get those passes off. That, I mean, they had, I don't know what the final number was. They definitely had 12. The Nuggets had 12 turnovers at the half.
Yep.
And I forget how many. I didn't check the final stat, but it happened in the second half too, many times.
I want to say in the third quarter, it was up to 16.
I remember seeing 16 at one point, but I wasn't sure when that was.
I'll check. 1 minute.
And that's the whole identity of this Thunder team is points off turnovers. It's a huge thing for them. It has been all year
for them.
Yeah. So if they can do that successfully, I think they have a really good shot of winning this Western Conference Finals. And I don't see the Timberwolves being that great at preventing that. I could definitely see it happen.
I agree as well.
Yeah.
I picked the Thunder to win it all because they looked like the best team throughout the whole season this year. But the big thing about the Thunder that really scares me is that we're talking about a really young team here. Like, that team is young, the youngest team that's left, and they have the most picks for the next until like 2031 or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
So if I'm the Celtics, it's kind of like, if we are planning on making a run back to the championship, expect that the Thunder are gonna be right there as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, Ryan, real quick, the total turnover numbers for the Denver Nuggets was 23.
Wow.
To the Thunder's 10.
Yeah.
And
that's awful.
The points conceded off of turnovers from the Nuggets was 37.
Ooh. Oh my God, 37 points off turnovers is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
They won by 32.
I was going to say they won, and a lot of that was like garbage time, like the bench players for the Nuggets drilling some threes, but they were up by like 40 with 2 minutes left.
Yep.
And
so
that's the difference in the game, really. Pretty much. You got a 40-point win, and you got 40 points off turnovers.
Yeah. Right? Also, field goal, just shooting in general was rough from the Nuggets too. I mean, when the Thunder are making half of their shots, they made 49% of their shots tonight, compared to your 39% of your shots, so 40%.
Ooh,
that's a 10% in that range is a big difference.
Absolutely.
So
it's just bad.
Yeah, they just shot the lights out, and they shot 30% from three as a team. So every one of three is going in from them.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
Those are winning basketball numbers.
Yes, you will. Those are the games that you have to win. If you lose that game, what did you do wrong?
Right.
When did you blow this game? When did you just blow the lead? But yeah, it's definitely tough to lose a game like that. And when the team you're playing against also has a rough game, you're gonna smoke them.
Yeah.
Yep. So who you guys got officially? I think we're all probably picking the Thunder in this one.
I'm sticking with the Thunder. So.
I'm gonna pick the Thunder. I really want the Timberwolves to win, but I believe that the Thunder will win.
I want to be different and take the T-Wolves, but I'm going to say who I think is actually going to win. I'm going to take the Thunder. Again, I'm probably in 7.
I
It's
think
gonna
Yeah.
it's
it's
7 as well.
6 or
Yeah.
7. Maybe the Thunder steal one in Minnesota, and then it goes on from there. But
When the Timberwolves win and Anthony Edwards puts up a 40 bomb in game 7, we're gonna
yeah,
replay that clip, and then we'll do like a hype edit of Anthony Edwards. It's gonna be like,
just
well,
dunking on.
I
We'll
don't
like
think
Photoshop our
I
face in
don't think
there.
they're gonna win, and then it's like boom. It's like I
Yeah,
just
I
bit
could-
right on a highway. 6-7, like some shit like that. You know what I'm
Are
talking
we
about?
No, not at all.
are we all in agreement though that whoever comes out of the West, Timberwolves or Thunder, they're gonna be our NBA champion? Because I feel like that's the case. I think whoever comes out is gonna wipe the floor against Indiana or New York. To be honest,
So the Boston sports fan in me wants to say, I hope it's the Knicks and I hope they get smoked. But
me too.
seeing how well the Knicks have played on defense against the Celtics and their prior series, it shows that they are also a very good defensive team
Yeah.
and that they could actually put up a problem with these other teams. So I don't want to say that I don't think the Knicks could win it, but I think it'd be a tough ask for the Knicks to win it because you have the Thunder, who have 2 very good centers in Chet Holmgren
Yeah.
and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah.
And they're just pretty much just, all right, one gets tired. Hey, next one up. Come on in. Oh, by the way, they're
Mhm.
both 7 foot. So
Yeah.
it's going to be tough to stop both of those guys just going through, every 8 minutes. All right, next one. Come on in. Or
Dude,
however
I feel
long.
like that's gonna be the most entertaining part of both of these series and the finals is like the bigs, because
Yeah.
you're gonna have Chet and Hartenstein, and then you have Gobert for the T-Wolves, and then you have Cat for the Knicks and Mitchell Robinson, and you have Miles Turner and fucking Pascal
Love Miles
Siakam.
Turner.
Like, dude, like all the biggest dudes just
Yep.
fucking going at each other. So that's gonna be huge. I
Miles-
mean, I for Eastern Conference, so I got OKC for the West, and I honestly want to take the Pacers in the Eastern Conference. So
Wow.
I think it's gonna be Oklahoma City and Indiana in the finals, and I think Indiana might have a chance there, but I would take OKC.
Yeah.
And to answer
Anthony,
your
who
original
you got?
question, if the Wolves make it, I think they have a worse chance of beating a team like the Knicks or the Pacers.
You think so?
Yeah,
Because
I
they
think-
still got the big men to do it, don't they?
I mean, but if
Gobert
they
and-
beat the Thunder, then they can do anything, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But as of right now, I feel much more confident that the Thunder could beat either one of those Eastern Conference teams than I feel the Wolves could.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I see what you're
That's what
saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you as well.
So I don't think that it's necessarily the West team that will win the finals, to answer your original question.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's a
I
good
think if
take.
there was a team from the East to win it, it would be the Knicks.
Mm,
Personally, I mean that's
okay.
like I said. I just said before, their defense is phenomenal.
Yeah, I
All
think
these
that's
guys
the best.
work as a very
Yeah.
cohesive unit constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the
100%.
biggest thing for a championship team is that when every guy buys in and goes, "We're winning this shit this year. We're doing it."
Yeah.
I'm with Evan on this one. I think the Knicks have the best shot over the Pacers to win it all.
Really.
But I don't think it matters because I don't see either of them winning. So screw you, New York. Enjoy your one finals conference appearance in 25 years. Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
So
Tony
I don't know if
says
you guys.
as he slowly turns into the fucking Wizard of Oz.
Yes, with the green light over his face. Goatees.
As it gets darker, he gets darker too.
Yes.
He's gonna
I'm
look
the
like the
Green
Green
Goblin
Goblin.
now.
Do you guys
Yes.
know the history? Do you guys know the history behind the Knicks and Pacers?
No.
No.
They were big time rivals at one point.
Oh,
Reggie
really?
Miller on the Pacers. There was a constant battle between them and the Knicks. There's an ESPN 30 for 30 called Miller Time.
Oh yeah.
Gotta watch it. They interview Reggie Miller and go through like all this stuff, like with the
Yeah.
Knicks and John Starks, Patrick Ewing, all these like
Oh,
old Knicks players. It's a really, really good documentary.
hell yeah, man.
It's only like I think it's
Reggie
only like
Miller's
an hour and a
fucking
half.
stud, too.
Yeah. But I hope he is on the call for the Eastern Conference games
Oh, he's got to be.
because I know he's gonna love the Pacers all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
He's
gonna crap on the Knicks.
There's no way he's gonna be able to hide his bias. No way.
No. Which also makes me think that they're not gonna let him on to do
Yeah, maybe.
Eastern.
Nah, but like, I mean, I think of like Tony Romo calling Cowboys games and stuff.
That's true.
And honestly, well, Tony Romo calls like Chiefs games or Bills games more often now, but
Yeah,
he glazes the fuck out of fucking Mahomes.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's like it's not, and people love it. Honestly,
I think it's hilarious when he does it. I think it is hilarious. The
Yeah.
clip of him going, "That looked kind of Mahomey," is the funniest shit ever.
oh my god, Tony Romo's awesome. He's the GOAT, man.
Yes, he is.
He was in our
He
fraternity.
used to do the same thing for the Pats, so I don't mind he does it for the Chiefs because he used to fucking glaze Bill Belichick and Brady. So
All right. I think that concludes our NBA talk. So you want to pull up the immaculate grid? I think we're gonna make this a tradition, guys. Every episode, I think we should pull something like this up and just bang it out. A little fun thing to do. It's really kind of a slow time for NFL news. We have some stuff that we will get into, but for now, we're gonna go ahead.
uh-oh. Hello?
Tony, it's just you.
Hello?
Oh, he's back.
I was just gonna
Tony-
say, don't tell
Tony
me
was
it
by
disconnected.
himself. Tony was by himself
got
for a
it.
second. He's like, "Guys, I can't do this alone."
Tony got scared.
I really did. I got scared for a minute.
I was like 47 minutes down the drain. There it goes.
Damn.
All right.
dude. Let's go. All right. See, this
This
is
is
I was doing this like by myself the other day, and I'm like, this is so tough when when you guys aren't here to like help me. Our combined
dude.
knowledge is like
way more
overpowered.
heads is way better for way more people is way better for Immaculate Grid. 'Cause you have
100%.
ideas you can bounce off of.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do today and also yesterday's grid, right, guys?
Mhm.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
sweet. All right, where are we starting with this thing? Because we got all teams, so we gotta dig a little bit.
Well, I'm thinking
Start
already.
with
I'm
what you
thinking
know, I guess.
Broncos and Lions. Josh Reynolds, right?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay, good one, good
Okay.
one.
All right. What you got?
I want to say Jeff Okuda, the corner. He played for the Lions and the Falcons, if I believe.
Did he play for the Falcons?
I believe he played for the Falcons.
Is he on the Falcons now?
I'm not sure. I don't know where the hell he's playing now.
Yeah,
We'll come back. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Okay,
We'll
yeah.
come back.
Let's save it.
Let's get the ones we can get, and then go from there.
Who you got for that? You have
Oh,
one there?
weren't you going to say Chiefs Broncos?
I was gonna say Chiefs Cardinal.
Yep.
Hollywood Brown.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Oh wait, I'll take Tyrann Matthew. Sorry.
I mean, Tyrann Matthew works too.
Oh,
I
they
think
have him as
it'll be Marquise. Yeah. Marquise.
Marquise Goodwin. No,
Oh.
Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown, yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
There it is.
I
Ooh,
know Lions and Cardinals, Anquan Bolden.
that's a good one. Yes.
Was Bolden was a Lion?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah, he
Really?
was.
Wow,
Yeah,
he
I
was a
didn't
good
know that.
Lion, too.
I never would have gotten that one. I didn't know he was a Lion.
Ooh. For the middle square, Jamal Charles.
Oh,
Good one. Good pick.
Yes,
Good pull.
sir. Well, I mean,
Colts Broncos.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's the easy one. I don't know if we want to put that or try something
I-
harder.
I'm cool with doing Peyton Manning. That's cool with me.
Yeah, rip it. It's probably fucking 60%.
It should be like 70. 71.
71.
Damn, bro.
Colts.
Colts.
Wasn't there a running back that played for both the Colts and the Cardinals? Why do I want to say like Edgerrin James for some reason because I know he was a Colt.
I feel like he was a Cardinal.
No, he was
Edge
definitely
a
a
Cardinal?
Cardinal.
Edgerrin
I
James?
think he was. I don't.
I want to say
yeah,
he
was-
I think so.
He was definitely a Colt.
Yeah,
he
definitely
was
a
known
Colt.
for being a Colt.
I think he was on the Cardinals also. Could be wrong though.
That
All right, we're gonna
feels
go.
right. Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Bang!
Yes,
Wow!
Thank you.
Wow! Okay, we were way more worried than we needed to be.
60% too.
Yeah,
Everybody
60.
knew that.
68% besides us. Chiefs.
For
Colts,
Falcon,
Falcons?
yeah, Colts, Falcons, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, we have Chief Falcon.
Chief Falcon.
There's got to be a name that we're not like. There's probably one guy that's like, oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, I don't know for this
Was-
one honestly.
Call me crazy. Was Don Terry Poe a Falcon? Because he played somewhere else besides the Chiefs after he left. I could be very wrong as
yeah,
well.
no, I feel like he was. I mean, I got nothing else.
Was there a running back that played for both? No.
Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Duh. Wow. That was a close one.
Damn, bro. I
We
want to see
almost
if
just
Don Terry Poe is a correct answer though.
We almost just let it rip with Don Terry Poe and Tony Gonzalez to just staring us in the face with that beautiful smile.
And that's a 60%er too.
That's 69%. Nice.
We gave up on the rarity play.
Pretty quick on this one.
We don't care
This
about
one was
rarity
super
this
hard,
time.
honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
Do we want to rip
This
Jeff Okuda?
last one, I was gonna say Dwight Freeney.
He was a Lion and a Falcon?
He was never a Lion.
Yeah, he was. Pretty
Dwight
sure.
Freeney? He was a Colt.
Oh,
Was he?
I know
was
he
he,
was a
no,
Colt.
was he ever
no,
even a Falcon?
I think he was on Detroit. Pretty sure.
Really?
I think so.
I am not sure on that one.
Well, we can put something
jeez.
else. I don't care.
I don't know
We'll
about
Ryan,
check-
Okuda.
we'll
Ryan,
check
get your dad down here. Let's see what he's got.
I don't know if he's still awake. He's probably asleep. Yeah, he's definitely asleep. But I was thinking he might have one. He doesn't. He doesn't know other teams though. Honestly,
Okay.
unless it was something that happened recently, he wouldn't know. I mean, yeah, maybe Jeff. I don't know. Did Okuda play for the?
Okuda was drafted by the Lions out of Ohio State.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely correct. If
So-
he was ever a Falcon, then he's a Falcon right now.
I believe he's a Falcon recently.
Yeah. I got nothing else. Either
I,
that
I
or
feel
Dwight
this is
Freeney.
nothing against you, Tony. I promise. I feel better about Jeff Okuda than Dwight Freeney.
Yes, I agree.
And again,
Oh, no,
if
it's
Dwight
all
Freeney's
good.
correct, then I will say, hey man, I'm sorry.
That's a
Let
niche
it. Let's just let it
knowledge,
rip.
though.
I can't spell today.
Jeff Oduka.
Okuda.
Let's go. We got it.
Nice.
Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
All right. Let's see the
Okay.
summary. We'll scroll and see what else. Dude, are we 3 for 3 on
Yeah.
Immaculate
we
right
are.
now?
Yeah, we are.
So there's 156 total answers for Lions Cardinals.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
So here are your most popular.
Adrian Peterson. What?
Yeah. Yep.
I
Wait.
don't remember him on either of
Oh,
those
Cardinal.
teams.
Yeah. No, yeah, he was a Cardinal.
That's crazy.
I mean, we got mostly all the most common answers.
Yeah.
Dontari Poe would have been a correct answer for Chiefs Falcons.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
Dontari
no.
Poe was correct.
What about? I'm gonna go into it's gonna bring me to a
Oh.
different tab. Stand by.
Hold on,
For-
I
I'm
can just
looking
look
at,
up. Who are we trying
Dwight
to figure out?
Freeney. Dwight
Dwight
Freeney was
Freeney.
correct. You were correct. That's a great job by you. Great
I had
job.
a feeling. I had a
Wow.
weird feeling because I thought I remembered
Yeah.
seeing him.
And he also played for the Chargers, Cardinals, Falcons, Seahawks, and Lions. So he could have worked in a
played
couple
for a
different
decent
spots
amount.
there.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. I did
All
not
right.
know
So
that.
we're on. Ready for yesterday's grid?
Yes, sir. Oh, we got the
Here's what
Giants.
we
All right,
got.
let me bang out this Giants one. Matt Breida.
Nice.
Dude, I can't spell.
I think it's EI.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
So
10 plus
Giant,
rushing touchdowns in a season.
Giant with 10 rushing touchdowns. I mean, fucking Brandon Jacobs.
We could get. I'll say we could get weird.
I mean, Otis Anderson probably as well. If you want to
Who?
get rip Otis Anderson, actually.
How old is he?
He was Super Bowl MVP in the Giants' first Super Bowl in 1986.
Wow.
I think it's 2 T's.
What a
Yes,
pull!
sir.
What
Yes,
a
sir.
pull!
Let's go.
They don't even have
Come
a
on,
picture
baby.
for him.
All right, so 50 plus sacks in a career. We could
Uh,
probably go Lawrence Taylor and Michael
Lawrence
Strahan
Taylor.
on both of
Yeah.
those.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We could probably get another crazy pull though there. I mean, Dexter Lawrence probably has 50 low key in his career.
That's true.
Maybe not. Yeah, just be safe. You could go with
Play
like
it
a
safe
Justin
there.
Tuck or like a OC Umenyiora or somebody like that.
Because neither of them are in the thing is now we're on to Pro Bowl. I think I should have used Lawrence Taylor at the Pro Bowl spot instead.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, Pro Bowl 50 sacks. I feel like there should be so many guys on there.
oh,
That is
100%.
true.
You could go Aaron Donald.
Yeah. Aaron
You could
Donald.
go.
He's not Pro Bowl. No, I'm thinking Hall of Fame. I'm stupid.
Oh, I was about to say Aaron Donald definitely made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
At least once.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think he made a Pro
I'm
Bowl
mad
like
at it,
every
dude.
season.
I'm sorry.
He has like
Yeah, I think you
11
missed.
Pro Bowl
Dude,
appearances.
yeah. We'll do Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that feels very safe.
8%.
Okay,
So
all
many
right,
options.
okay. Just because there is a lot. Okay, a Pro Bowl Dolphin. Bro, Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey.
No. Fucking George Blanda.
Was he a Pro Bowler?
So Pro Bowl must be achieved with that team, with the Dolphins.
Okay.
Oh.
Wasn't George Blanda a Dolphin? I don't know if he made the Pro Bowl. I'm sure he did
Yeah,
because he was nasty. Or Larry
Yeah.
Zonka.
I was thinking Larry Zonka,
Larry
Dude,
Zonka.
Larry
yeah.
Zonka's fucking the GOAT, bro.
but I spell his name right. No, I didn't spell it right. Damn it. It's CS. Damn it. Yeah, he had to have been a Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir. Okay. And then a Pro Bowler with 10 rushing touchdowns.
Pick so many guys.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, sure. Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. So then 50 plus sacks in a career and also played for the Eagles.
Reggie White.
I'll say Reggie White.
Yep. Or you could probably do like a Brandon Graham or something.
Probably. Yeah.
Because just for a longevity play.
And Ndamukong
Sue, yep.
Probably would have fit that as well.
Yep.
As well the last time he was an Eagle.
Well, do they have to have 50 plus sacks for that team or no?
I don't know.
Game.
Oh no.
I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
I don't think so.
So it says players must have 50 sacks in their career, obviously. When paired with a team, they must have played at least one game with that team in their career.
Okay. Yeah.
So any player who has 50 plus sacks in a career, they could have played one playoff game for the Eagles. They count.
Gotcha.
Okay. So 10 rushing touchdowns in a season for Eagles. I was gonna say Brian
McCoy.
Yeah, Shady McCoy or Brian Westbrook was the other one that I had.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Brian Westbrook.
No.
He's wrong.
No.
Do you never have 10 touchdowns in a season?
That's fucking
Oh
great.
my god.
I'm looking that shit up
just got
right
our first one
now.
wrong.
What the
Oh
fuck?
my lord.
He must not have had 10 plus in a season.
That's
Because he was definitely on the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Let me guess. He had like
Wow.
9 in a season, didn't he?
Damn it. He did have 9 in his. He had 9 in his season. The most he ever had in a season was 9 in 2008. What the fuck, dude?
We were trying to be too cocky.
Trying to be too good.
McCoy.
We could have gone with fucking Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
Honestly,
we could have seen Saquon.
Yeah.
And then so you have a Dolphin and an Eagle.
Was it? I'm not gonna lie, I'm having trouble on this one. Oh, and Ndamukong
Was it Ndamukong Suh?
He was a
Suh was a
Dolphin.
Dolphin, right?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Sweet. That hurts. Like it hurts to get one wrong.
That's missing that one sucks because we totally had answers that would have worked. There was only 7 though.
Wow.
There's only 7.
I mean, 10 rushing touchdowns in a season is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see those Giants. What do we got for them Giants there?
Because
I don't know if like. Oh yeah, that's fine.
I got you. A minute.
Yeah, I don't know if Brandon Jacobs really was, but he feels like a end zone monster though, or red zone.
So I'm
monster,
looking for single season for the New York Giants in the regular season, requiring at least 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
So we're looking at Tiki Barber.
Okay, Barkley twice. Brandon Jacobs did do it. Tiki.
I don't know.
Rodney.
Your boy Otis.
Otis did it twice, baby.
We already used him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, who the fuck is Joe Morris? Had 21 in 1985. That was the year before.
Wait, 21? What the fuck?
That was the year before they won the Super Bowl. Oh, so Otis Anderson was their second Super Bowl. He was the MVP, not the first one. That's my bad. It was against the Bills. Yeah, that's their second one.
Dude, he averaged 101 yards a game. Joe Morris.
Joe Morris was a beast, bro. What the fuck? How do I not know
That's
about Joe
insane.
Morris? How
That's
about my
insane.
boy Bill Pascal doing it in 1943? What the fuck?
First time I've ever heard that name.
That's insane.
I'm gonna look back for the Eagles one, see who else we could have chosen on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Shady was definitely correct. He had 17 in a season.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
absolutely.
Jalen
Oh,
Hurts,
Jalen
Miles
bro.
Sanders,
Oh, Miles Sanders.
Ricky Waters.
Bro,
Never heard of
that's
him.
crazy.
And then Steve Van Buren had a 4-year stretch of 10+ touchdowns.
Oh my god.
Never heard of
And
Steve Van Buren.
at least 83 yards rushing a game.
Wow. What a
And then there's Saquon with $125 a game last year.
Yeah, that's just insanity. And he could have had fucking 7 more touchdowns, probably 9 more touchdowns than he did have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if they didn't do the tush push thing.
Fucking stole half of them.
Yeah. Here are your top guys for this grid.
Oh yeah, OBJ.
JJ Watt is a cool pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect he'd be the top one.
I mean, the highest one was still only 12%. That means, there was a lot of different answers for that.
Yeah, I think there's like 200. Yeah, 241.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Holy shit.
But there's only you have 7 for both of these, for both Giants and Eagles for touchdown rushers. We picked wrong. Granted, odds were not in our favor, but still.
Right. But we had one though. Not thinking of Jalen Hurts is kind of crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said the same thing, so I can't believe we didn't think of him.
Yeah. We sucked on that one big time.
Oh shit.
Well,
do we have to do one more?
Perfect.
We can't end on a loss. This is a loss to me.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Oh.
That's it.
All right,
our
whatever.
Perfect record is broken no matter what now, everyone. So
we have to keep a running tally. We're now 3-1 on immaculate grid. I'm getting
I think we're 3-1.
3-1.
Yep. And even then, we really should have had that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should have 100%.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But let's get back into some actual breaking news, some real hard hitting journalism here, and we'll do a little bit of we'll go. This is just some cleanup stuff, just a little bit of stuff in the NFL. This week, actually, I think it was yesterday, Brock Purdy signed a contract extension worth $265 million. Did we confirm how long it is?
5 years.
Right now.
Yeah,
5 years.
It's 5.
So 5 years, $265 million. So he's getting paid $50 million a year, or
53 mil.
Yeah, 53.
Yep, 53.
Holy shit, that's like Patrick Mahomes money, bro.
Yep.
I mean, Mahomes is on for 10 years, but per year it's still the same amount of money, which is just insane.
Thing is, Mahomes isn't even top 8, I think, on quarterback money.
Really?
I think Jordan Love is 1.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can look that up too.
Yeah, look that up.
Yep.
I think maybe at the time Mahomes was one of the top ones, but not anymore.
Yeah. Oh no, when he got his deal, he was definitely the highest paid quarterback.
Biggest one.
It wasn't even a question. Yes.
He was number 1 at the time, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But then it was Tua. Tua got paid a shit ton.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love and guys like that were getting Dak Prescott getting contracts. Jalen Hurts, dudes are getting paid left and right, bro. Kirk Cousins has a crazy contract. I mean, y'all think this is a good move for the Niners? There's a lot of kind of discourse about Brock Purdy and him being overrated, but what do you guys think?
So I get in this league, you want the quarterback, you want to pay the quarterback. I get it. It's the NFL. I feel like almost everybody does it now. But I kind of feel like that's a bad thing because I feel like a lot of these guys don't deserve, based on their history and their play to be getting this much money.
Mm.
Like we just talked about it. Has Tua ever won you a Super Bowl? Has Dak Prescott ever won you a Super Bowl? Has Brock Purdy ever won you a Super Bowl? I mean, now granted, they can't do it by themselves, but like when you look at talent alone, all of those guys, maybe besides Burrow and Allen, I feel like
Yep.
are just like those are
Having
they're way leagues ahead of the other
Yo,
guys.
Trevor Lawrence being up there is crazy.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is
So
diabolical.
like, so looking at I don't know how well you guys can see him, but
I could see it. Yeah.
like Jordan, like obviously Dak Prescott's your top guy, and he's 31 when he signed that. He's gonna be 35 when that contract is done.
Yeah. And they're already like they got Joe Milton too. So
Yeah.
they could probably move on from him before that contract's up.
And look at where Mahomes is. He's way down here, 2 spots below Deshaun Watson
Oh yeah. I can't even see him
on
because of the
average
face
salary.
cam, but wow. That's insane.
I put him
Yep.
towards the top. Yeah, so like,
Oh, this is just
This is-
highest paid players in general. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is up there. That's crazy.
Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Look at Geno Smith. What is he doing? He's
Honestly.
34.
He's 34. What the fuck? Oh, well, he's not. Oh, yeah. No, he just signed that contract.
Yeah.
Wow. That is wild. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I
crazy.
guess Brock Purdy's what? What is he, 7th or 8th on that list? I think that's probably a good spot for him to be at.
Yeah, 8th.
Eighth, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
As far as pay, like
yeah,
we'll forget about this with the fact that Trevor Lawrence is above him is kind of crazy, but him being around 8th is probably where he should be, regardless of who's above him. But
yeah,
it is just kind of wild that people throw out money like that,
like
definitely.
I said, in this league, I get it. Like you want to keep your quarterback, you do not want to let your star quarterback go. I'm just saying, I think a lot of them are just overpaid. I mean, it was probably the right move by the 49ers to just pay him the money because then you're left with nothing. But it just sucks the way that the NFL is, I guess. Like, that it's so, like, these markets are so, for quarterbacks, are so big and all these teams would be willing to throw him money that's like kind of like you gotta pay him that much. Like you don't really have any other option.
Well, I feel like it's basic economics, really. It's a supply and demand issue. The supply of good NFL quarterbacks is very low. The demand is very high. So of course you're going to pay a lot more when one comes around. I mean, Brock Purdy you draft at the very last pick of the draft and you hit on a diamond in the rough and regardless of the actual numbers, paying him a full franchise quarterback salary is what you got to do to secure a guy like that. Because if you let him walk, there's no guarantee that you're going to find anyone that is close to where he's at. It's possible you could find someone a little bit better, but it's not. It's like the risk reward is not really there. It kind of makes sense for a lot of these teams to just go ahead and shell out the money because they don't know if they're going to find someone else as good.
Yeah. And again, I think that's where it comes down to is like, I don't think Brock Purdy is personally, I don't think he's the most deserving of that very large contract. I think he's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But also I think any other team would have went. I think the Raiders would have easily said, here you go. They would have gave him that exact, if they have the money for it. Again, I don't know what their cap situation is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think any team that had that money available would have said, you want to sign your name here? Blank check. Here you go. Yeah.
Right.
So like you said, it's kind of we don't want to do it, but also we want to keep our guy.
Yeah.
So they kind of get forced in the spot of, all right, we got to do it. And it sucks. It's
Because if
such
they didn't do it,
it's such
someone else
as
would.
exactly.
Yep.
Now,
I
Yeah.
think it's
this, like Evan said, like that's what I said too. Like that's what kind of sucks is that you kind of don't have a choice nowadays. You gotta pay the quarterback. But the thing that really sucks for guys like Brock Purdy and Jordan Love, and I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but they are not guys like Burrow, Allen, Lamar, etc.
I agree.
So you're paying
Different
these
tier.
guys big contracts, but these are the guys that, yeah, they're good quarterbacks and you don't want to lose them, but you also need other pieces for them too.
Hmm.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
but you gotta pay these guys now too, and that kind of screws your team over a lot, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Yep.
yeah. And to sign that big name, to sign them to that huge contract, you're taking money from other positions and then putting them into the quarterback
Exactly.
area.
Yep.
So you're gonna have downgrade at say left tackle, at say your wide receiver 2, at say your corner 3. You're gonna have downgrades, but that one quarterback isn't gonna fix that issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, like Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, all getting these big contracts makes sense. Like they deserve that contract. They are great quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
I would say Brock Purdy is a good quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you got money, let's say for like $100 million in that range, upwards of that, obviously, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. That makes sense. They're trying to keep their guy for 4 years, but also build pieces around him.
Yeah.
And also, players want the money now, and that's totally fine. You're in the NFL. Go get your money. Granted, like I feel like Dion was one of the first players to do that in the NFL, was to like jump around to the team. Oh, you're paying the most? Cool, I'll go there. Because what it was, Commanders or at the time Redskins, Ravens, Falcons, Cowboys. I think there's one other team in there.
Those were all the offers that he had.
Those are he went to those 4 teams.
Oh, he played for
Dion,
the Redskins and the fucking
Dion,
yeah, he did.
yeah,
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
yeah. So if like
That's
Falcons,
crazy.
Ravens cut off an immaculate grid. You throw Deion Sanders in there for like a
Right.
5%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like
honestly.
that's players will go for the money now, and so it's
Yeah.
kind of like we all just said a minute ago is if you're not going to pay them, someone else will. It's
Yep.
going to
Yep.
happen.
And like you said, Evan, you know, and Tony, you said like you need to also build people around that guy. So,
Hmm.
but you're also taking money away from other people that you can sign to help that quarterback. So, you know, someone like Mahomes will probably take a little pay cut because he knows that it's a business and they need to sign other people and he wants to win. So he knows they need more weapons. I feel like that's probably why Mahomes took a more of a team friendly deal. But then you see teams like the fucking Giants paying a guy a lot of money, but guess what? It's the fucking wrong guy and it goes really fucking bad. That's just me being sour and what this conversation is making me think of.
Hmm.
But to go back to my actual point is like, you know, you pay your quarterback a shit ton of money. And then now, if we were to go back to that list, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, guys like that, wide receivers, top tier wide receivers are also climbing up that list of guys you got to
Hmm.
pay. Take a look at the Bengals. Joe Burrow was, I think he was top 5 in that list. Jamar Chase was creeping up that list. He's making $40 million a year. I'm not sure where T. Higgins falls on that, but he got a really big contract. And now take a look at the Bengals situation. And then you got a guy who led the league in sacks last year in Trey Hendrickson, who you got to pay because
Hmm.
your defense fucking sucks. But guess what? You don't have the money to fucking pay him because you're paying out the ass for your top tier quarterback and your 2 top tier wide receivers, and
Hmm.
you refuse to spend money on your defense. So then you have a situation like it's going on right now where Trey Hendrickson shows up to minicamp doesn't practice and just holds a press conference where he basically says, "Hey guys, I'm not getting my contract. I'm not going to play this season. He did sign a contract. We talked about this, I think, last episode,
Mhm.
but he said he's not going to play out this 1-year contract that he signed unless they get a new deal done. So, I mean, this is kind of a tough issue because part of it is, it's the landscape of the NFL that's making it hard for teams to hold on to a lot of top tier talent. But
Right.
also with the Bengals in particular, it just seems like they just don't want to pay him, and they're not
Mhm.
like communicating with him well. And like, it's just
Yeah.
and the Bengals have a bad history of this. Not only is Trey Hendrickson dealing with this right now, but their rookie that they drafted, Shamar Stewart, also is like refusing to sign his contract because he doesn't like it. It's like, you're a
Really?
rookie.
What?
Just take
I didn't know
what it.
that.
Yeah. And I don't know
Wow.
the specifics of it, but it must be a really bad contract if you're a rookie coming in and you don't sign it. Because, I mean,
Well,
shit, I would take anything I could get if I was in that situation.
wait. Aren't rookie contracts like a set number?
Yeah, I thought they were.
I mean, I honestly, I really don't know. I think
Because you
that
can't
there is.
negotiate a rookie contract.
I want to say that there's like maybe a max or a min and max that like you have to be in a certain range depending on like where you're drafted and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to do some research, but he's holding out. Shamar Stewart's not practicing either.
Wow.
The Ravens first round, or the Bengals first round pick.
Bengals.
So
That's bad.
just the whole like landscape of contracts in the NFL is getting way pricey, and it's making it hard for teams, and particularly the Bengals. And I don't know why. I think it's just their owner is like notoriously stingy. So there's some shit going on with that. But yeah, I mean, Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks last year. Like, how do you not sign him?
Yeah.
And I mean,
So,
no, go ahead.
like, all right, gentlemen, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, but I feel like a lot of teams value the quarterback number one, obviously, and then playmakers like wide receivers and
Yep.
etc. But in my opinion, if you historically look, like let's just take a look, like say let's just take a look at like the last 20 Super Bowl winners. A lot of those teams really didn't have like crazy like like number one like top paid wide receiver guys. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
it does happen sometimes. Like, obviously this past season the Eagles won. They have Brown and Devontae Smith, but that
Mhm.
was just their whole team was built that phenomenal. But a lot like if you just keep going down the list, I feel like Mahomes he did it without really an amazing wide receiver. Brady, I mean, yeah, you had Gronk some years and Edelman, but Edelman's not like a fucking Justin Jefferson or something like that.
Right.
Um,
They were all on team friendly deals. They all took pay cuts constantly, year after year after year after year.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that
Um,
you can do it alone. I mean, even look at like the Rams when they won the Super Bowl. I mean, you had Cooper Kupp, you had the Triple Crown winner, but you also had Aaron Donald on the other side of the ball,
yeah.
right? Like, it's not just one thing. It's a balance of a lot of things. It's having a good quarterback and a good receiver and good defensive line and secondary and just being well rounded, everywhere. I mean, even go back to like, I remember when the Falcons played the Pats in 2016. Obviously, the comeback is what everyone talks about, but the Falcons had the number one offense in the league that year.
Mhm.
They were insane. Julio Jones had like an insane season,
Yep.
and they didn't win the Super Bowl because, I mean, I don't think, if I remember correctly, their defense wasn't really remarkable outside
Yep.
of like some I think they had a safety that was pretty good, or a corner. I'm forgetting his name, but they weren't like super known for their defense. And hey, your offense outpaced the Pats in the start of the Super Bowl, but then your defense couldn't hold them in that fourth quarter when they made the comeback. So that's a huge thing. I mean, that's just an example, to support our argument here.
So I would say you are incorrect on that. I would say they had a very good defense.
Oh yeah,
that started the Super Bowl. The first half. Oh my God, yeah. They had the pick six on Brady. They had a few sacks.
No. That's what I'm saying is like their first half was good, but they didn't. They didn't finish. They didn't finish. They obviously let up 28 points or however many 25 points in the last quarter, or in the last quarter and
a half.
Yeah.
Right. So sorry, I totally got that wrong.
Yeah.
My bad.
I did forget about the pick six, but either way,
my thing is they still have the better. The Patriots had the better defense out of that year, anyway. So.
Yeah. I still love watching a Donta Hightower sack after Devonta Freeman forgot how to throw a chip block
when they were in field goal range, dude.
And then they passed it. Yeah, it's
so
fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. I remember watching that. Like, bro, you're so dumb.
Yeah, Ryan, I was with you.
Yeah, I think so.
And you were all excited about the Pats that the Pats were going to lose.
I think I was talking so much shit too.
You were
probably.
You were.
You were.
You were. But no, like that. It just shows that you don't need to pay every guy top money to win a Super Bowl. That's what we're getting at, correct? That's in short.
Yeah, it's not about shelling out. Yeah, you don't shell out top dollar for everybody. You build a team with guys that some of them are paid more than others, right? And even in the NBA, it's kind of like that. Okay, you have your superstar, you have your Tatum and your Jaylen Brown, but then you have a Derek White, you have a Peyton Pritchard who don't get paid as much, but they're role players, right? Like something like that. It's not. You can't be so like lopsided, I feel like. And that's what it feels like the Bengals are doing right now. And probably why Joe Burrow is going to go down as like a quarterback who is really, really good, but never won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Because his team around him was never good enough to help him get there, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I think that Bengals team, I think, is not helping it. Did they do anything about their defense this year? Well, obviously not because they haven't resigned Trey Hendrickson, but like I'm saying, otherwise than that,
I don't think they really added anyone.
No big names in free agency.
Did they lose one of their corners? Did Chidobe Awuzie leave?
Probably. Maybe.
Say that again. You cut out for a sec.
Chidobe Awuzie.
The corner.
Did he leave?
Did he leave?
Yeah.
The Bengals?
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't never that good anyway.
Yeah, he's on the Ravens now.
There you go.
But he was there. I agree. I don't think he was that good, but he was like, kind of their best option.
Yeah, he was their last. Oh no, he was there. Sorry, I was wrong. He's on the Titans in 24. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But still, in 23, that defense still wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right.
Like they're not helping themselves at all with what they've been doing on the defensive side. And I'm gonna make a callback to when we looked over the schedule, looked at like the top 10 games. Like, oh yeah, Bengals, Bills, and I was like, Bills are gonna beat the brakes off of the Bengals.
Yeah,
or something against. It was the Bengals against like a very high-powered offense.
Yeah,
I was like, it's not even gonna be close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, I don't. It feels like something in that front office is just like they're not getting it. They never have.
I was gonna say they've always been like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was just gonna say the same thing. I was like, hasn't that always been the one gripe with the Bengals that they have like 2 years of like, oh my God, they did it, they figured it out, and then they just.
Yeah, I mean, like the Andy Dalton years.
Yeah, like they had like 3 or 4. They had a few good years of like, oh, playoffs, cool. You play the Steelers, cool. And then Vontaze Perfect happened, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
and
He screwed
then
them over
just
bad,
kick a
man.
field goal to win.
Oh my god,
So, but
Vontae's perfect.
I know it's not. I know Vontae's perfect isn't a front office guy. I get that part. But like they've shot themselves in the foot so many different times. And I think this is just another showing of the Bengals being the Bungles. It's exactly what it is.
Yep, exactly.
Well, the meme
Let's-
makers are right, man. They're building their team like a 10-year-old would in Madden, so
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
props to them.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to our last topic before we completely lose Tony to the dark side. So I'll let you take this one, Tony, because this was a story that you read, so I don't want to misquote anything, but yeah.
All right. So, what I saw today, because I just found this out today, was that apparently, or not apparently, it is going to happen. I'm not sure on the date, but I believe sometime this week, the NFL owners are going to be voting on a rule change that completely changes the playoff seeding. So, as we know, we have always had 4 division winners and then 3 wildcard spots. If you win your division, you're a top 4 seed, no matter what your record. But with the rule change, there will still be 4 division winners and 3 wildcard teams, and that's going to be your playoff teams. So the 4 division winners and then the 3 teams with the best record. But if you're a division team with, say, like a 7-9 record, you could be a 7th seed. And if you're a wild card team, you didn't win the division, but you're an 11-5 team, win team, or 11-6 now, you could be like a 3rd or a 4th seed. So they're not changing. It's still going to be division winners make the playoffs, but and they're not changing that, but they're changing the seeding. If I hope I explained that so
Yeah,
everyone
that makes
listening
sense.
can understand.
That
Yeah.
makes sense for sure.
So it's going to go based off record and not where you finish in your division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if 3 teams all do really well, they're probably going to be 1, 2, 3 in whatever side, AFC or NFC, whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of one of them being a 1, one of them being a 4, or whatever the numbers would be.
I feel like this is so targeted towards like the NFC South, because it's always like whoever the fuck wins the NFC South is always like a joke. They're like 7-9,
Yeah.
and then they still somehow make it, and it's like then they're the 4 seed playing against, the Vikings, who had 13 wins but somehow became the 5 seed because the Lions also had 13 wins, and then it just doesn't like make any sense, So it feels very targeted. I like this rule change. I'd love to actually see this, because it just feels like it would be more fair, And I also feel like another thing that I'm just adding on to this potential rule change is like reseeding, like how the NBA does it, where or no, I'm sorry.
I
No.
believe the NHL is reseeding.
No, never mind. I'm sorry. 'Cause the NFL is reseeding, because the number 1 seed gets a bye, and they will play against the lowest seed no matter what. The NBA actually is like like the
It's a
Thunder,
set bracket.
it's a set bracket. You're going to play the winner of this game regardless who wins.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
the NFL, you might play the winner of this game or the player winner of that game, So
Yep.
And the
never
NFL
mind.
is the only
Forget I
only
even said
league like
anything.
that.
I
Okay.
think that's the right way to do it. So forget
Yeah.
I said that. We're already
So-
doing that part right.
So I don't know if Tony brought this up. This rule change was submitted by the Detroit Lions.
Really?
I remember
And-
reading that. Yeah.
And guess who missed out on the first round bye? The Detroit Lions.
The Lions. Yep.
Even though they had the best record.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Wait, why?
Yeah, because then the Eagles get the first round bye.
Yeah. But they had a
Correct.
better record than the Lions, didn't they?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he's right, because I
But
remember that
why?
being the big
Or
thing
weren't they
for
tied?
Detroit.
Yeah, but
What was it?
even if they were tied, like it would have still been like a tiebreaker. Like this doesn't affect that though. Like this wouldn't really even affect the 1 and 2 seed.
Because if you looked at what would have happened last year, if this seeding, was in place for last year, it would have went in the NFC: Lions at 1, Eagles at 2, Vikings at 3, Commanders at 4, Packers 5, Bucks 6, Rams 7. Would have been your NFC last year. And then what's up?
No, go ahead.
So then it would have been, for the first round, it would have been Philly at Rams instead of Eagles getting the first round bye.
But the Eagles didn't get a first round bye. The Lions were 15-2 and the Eagles were 14-3. So the Lions got the bye.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right. I'm looking at the standings right now.
I could have
Yeah.
sworn that Eagles got the first round bye last year.
Yeah, no,
don't
I
know
knew
ball.
the Eagles. I knew the Eagles were the second seed, but for some reason I didn't think the Lions had a bye either. I don't know why.
I didn't think the Lions had the
Maybe-
bye. I thought the Eagles got it for some reason.
Maybe just because they got smoked so bad in the divisional that we just forgot about them.
Maybe,
yeah,
I don't
they
know,
were-
man.
The best tied with the best record in the league last year with the Chiefs,
Yeah.
15-2.
So hold on. Is this it? Where the fuck is the actual bracket? Here we go. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. So you can see right there that the Lions
Yep.
had the first round bye. So it changes things because they might not have played Washington. They probably would have had a better shot because Washington ended up being the 6th seed because Philly won the division. And Washington had to be a wild card team. And then
Correct.
Minnesota, Washington, and Green Bay, I believe, all had better records than the Buccaneers and the Rams, who
Right.
won their divisions. So they were those teams were ranked higher. So then,
Correct.
like, I don't know exactly how it would have worked out, but Washington would have been like the 3 seed or 4 seed.
Yeah,
they would have been the 4 seed. So they might not have played the Lions going into the second round of the playoffs. I mean, it's true. The Lions probably did get a harder matchup than they would have got because, well, yeah, actually it makes a lot of sense because in the next round of the playoffs, Philly played the Rams, who were the 4 seed, and the Lions played the Commanders, who were the 6
Check the
seed.
share screen.
Oh, here we go.
So this would have been. This is from Mike Garofalo. This is how the seeding would have looked this past postseason under the Lions' proposal.
Okay. Yep.
So there's your AFC, and then there's your NFC below.
Yeah, you would have had the Commanders at 4, and you would have had the Rams at 7.
Correct.
The Rams and Commanders both won their games, and the Lions would play the lowest remaining seed, which would have been the Rams, instead of the Commanders, who were low in real life. They were lower, so the Lions really got a harder matchup than was actually reflected in the rankings or in the records, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make sense. We use all our brain power to determine that it does make perfect sense that the Lions submitted this.
It makes all 3.5 brain cells we have.
Exactly.
As a collective.
We finally got around to it. Hopefully that wasn't too unbearable to fucking listen to. the brain rot setting into my skull. It's also kind of late and I'm tired as fuck, but it's okay. But it does make sense. And I'm sure that other teams have gotten screwed over by this before. It makes total sense.
Yep. Because then it would have been, so the NFC wildcard game would have been similar, home versus Houston, but NFC would have been what he's got here. So Rams at Philly, Tampa Bay at Minnesota, Green Bay at Washington.
That would have been, yeah.
So
Philly would have played
the
Rams around earlier.
Yes.
So
and not
Evan,
a snow game. We would have been deprived of a snow game. So
yeah. Actually, I don't support this.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay.
I don't like it anymore.
So in all seriousness, Evan, are you with Gallagher on this too? Do you favor this rule change or no?
I'm unsure. Like I'm not like, man, I would love this rule to change. I feel like it's one of those rules of like a team got screwed over by it, so they want it changed. That's kind of how it seems. Kind of how when the Chiefs lost in overtime to the Pats, like, oh, the rule changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
you want to change because you lost, or you want it changed because you just want it changed. We can talk about the overtime rules another day, but I don't see a problem with changing it or keeping it. It doesn't really matter to me. It would make it so if you get the 1 seed, that you earn the 1 seed, you earn the right to play the worst team in the playoffs.
The actual worst team.
Right. But also it keeps the parity of, hey, if you're the best, you should go beat them all.
So
true. Yeah.
I'm going to come out and say this. I absolutely hate this rule change. I hope it does not pass. I hope they all vote besides the lines. I hope they all vote no. Yep. And my thing is that this is the NFL. It should not matter who you're playing. If you are an NFL Super Bowl winner, you should be able to go out there and beat anybody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't care if it's the freaking 07 Patriots, like the Giants did. They went out and they beat them. Yep. It doesn't matter who's in front of you. It shouldn't.
Correct.
Now you can make the argument it's more fair. Number 1 seed should play the 7. Like, yeah, I get it. But I'm just, what do you call it? I don't like change, and I'm just
you're a boomer, bro.
Sure, I'm a boomer. That's what it is.
You know what, Anthony? I'll take your side on that. I'll take your side on that because I hated the change for the overtime rules. And I was like, it makes no sense. I was like, if that's so real quick, the overtime rules, obviously both teams now get the ball. In overtime. In the playoff. I think they're moving that to regular season soon too.
Yeah, I think it is.
Which I think is dumb. It's so stupid. Yeah. I think the overtime rule is stupid in general. Anyways, here we go. So with that, I hate how they both get the ball. Defense is a part of the game. If you want the ball, make a stop on defense.
Yep.
Again, just 80% of the time, the team that gets the ball first goes down, scores, and wins. Okay, cool. Again, that's why you play the game. You play the game to win. You try your damnedest, and sometimes it comes down to a coin flip. I get that part. But we're just getting rid of one aspect of the game on the first drive.
Well, but
that's how I see it.
But don't you think like it should be, even if defense is a part of the game, but also both teams have a defense too. So if my defense gives up a touchdown, okay, only fair that your defense gets tested as well. And if you also give up a touchdown, then we're still on the same level. If we're both giving up touchdowns,
well, then it becomes sudden. And then if that happens, if they both give up a touchdown, it becomes sudden death. We're right back to the
which is
same
the
thing.
same thing.
We're right back to the same
again.
thing.
And that's my thing was they changed that rule because it was the Chiefs and Bills, correct? And the Chiefs got the
Yes.
ball first.
Yep.
Yes.
So they were like complaining, like, "Oh, both teams should get the ball." But dude, you had all game to stop the Chiefs. They kept scoring on you the whole game. You want to win that game? Get a stop on defense.
Exactly. You had
It
13
shouldn't. It
seconds to stop
shouldn't
the
have.
Chiefs, and you couldn't do it.
It shouldn't even have came down to that overtime.
No.
If your
Shouldn't have.
team was good enough to win, you should have stopped them on defense.
Yep.
But think about it in terms of like beer pong. You know, if your team is the first one to throw, right, and then you sink the final shot, the other team gets rebuttals because it's only fair that they get to go as many times as you got to go.
No,
But
you
this
always
is-
give rebuttals. You always give rebuttals, no matter who throws first.
Anyone gets rebuttals in pong.
Well, then there you go. Then you're proving my point right there.
Yeah, but that's
So you get rebuttals.
But the thing is, so in rebuttals, right?
Overtime
so
is just rebuttals.
I don't put cups back out to match you.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't get so in rebuttals, right? So you get to put cups back out, or you have your cups right. So you have 3 cups left, right?
Yeah.
I don't get 3 cups to try and match you. You're the one that's fighting for overtime.
Okay. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't think I understand what your point is. So I think we're just spinning our wheels here.
I'm saying
on the beer pong thing.
if I take a shot, it's only fair that you get to take a shot back, you know? Same, overtime, man.
all right.
It's past my bedtime, bro.
That is pong, bro. This is the NFL.
I was waiting for you to
Man.
say
Damn
that.
it.
I mean, it's
Grizzly
not the
sport.
same thing.
But yeah, I know how I feel about I always get shit from my buddies on this because they all like the overtime rule. And I'm like, I'm not a fan.
I think
I
it
never
also
liked the
adds
overtime rule
to
either.
just the spectacle. And like all the rules nowadays and like the calls and stuff of like, pass interference and shit like that, everything favors the offense. It's an offensive league. Like even like we were just talking about, teams are building up their offense and they don't care about defense and stuff. Like if a team is going like, because that Bills and Chiefs game, it got down to the end and it was like, bro, nobody can stop. Neither one of them can stop each other. So it felt like they were evenly matched, right? Like they both had leads. They both had opportunities to win the game, and it went to overtime. And then it felt unfair that they both didn't get a chance because it felt like no matter who got the first chance, they were going to score. And I don't, that situation makes you think about what could happen in other times. Most of the time it is probably a situation where it's like, if the Chiefs are totally beaten up on a team and the team somehow miraculously forces overtime and then the Chiefs get the coin toss, yeah, they're going to probably win. But if the other team had got the coin toss, it just didn't feel like they would have gone down and scored either. So that, I don't know what point I'm trying to prove with that. I don't know,
dude. I'm
standing
getting
firm
delirious,
on
bro.
my point of view.
No, so I'm gonna go back with you on that. So after the Pats beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl, that was a big thing as well, was changing the overtime rule. And I'm like,
yeah,
why?
because same thing happened there. Yeah,
I understand if you want to say, hey, if you score a touchdown, ball game, field goal does not end it, which I think is what it became.
Yeah,
which makes sense because you have these guys.
I thought that was always the rule.
Was it always the rule?
I thought so.
That was the rule before. In the regular season, that for a long time that was the rule. But no, I think it was field goal or touchdown. You won it
in playoffs. That's how it was.
Yeah, that's what it used to be. Yeah,
and then it became field goal. They get ball, touchdown. You win.
That makes sense.
Which I'll admit
that makes sense.
That was stupid. Yeah, the field goal thing I didn't like because it was like what 20, 30 yards.
You get once you get past the 40-yard line, the guy can bang one home probably.
Yeah, like they only need 20, 30 yards and you win the game. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But I'm standing firm on my touchdown overtime rules. Again, even that Falcons game, If they think the reason they lost that game was because they won the coin flip toss in overtime, I'm sorry. You can look at 100 different things they did wrong
Yep.
in the game that were way bigger, which is why you lost.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Damn.
Damn.
I still don't fully agree with you guys. I get everything you're saying makes sense. I still don't fully agree with you guys.
It's okay. We'll talk tomorrow when
I
you're
get
more
it.
awake.
Yeah. When I'm finally thinking straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see some rule changes coming down the line. I heard that there was some kickoff changes that they want to
Oh no.
change the
Oh
kickoff
my
again.
God.
And I actually heard that they're trying to get rid of the kickoff entirely. Like they just keep changing it incrementally, and then it's going to get to a point where they're just like, nah, no more kickoff.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
They're weaning us away from kickoffs.
Yeah,
No more special teams.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. But it'll be interesting to see.
I know Devin
what
Hester's
happens there.
pissed about no kickoffs,
bro.
or he loves it because his record will never get
There
touched.
will be no more kick returners in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Thing is, Cordero Patterson could go to the Hall of Fame just to be a kick returner.
Dude, he could. He should.
He
totally
he
should.
could.
He will.
I
If I have anything to fucking say about it.
I think he tied Devin Hester on kick returns.
Did he really?
I believe so.
He's still in the league. He could pass him.
Yeah, he's with Pittsburgh.
No. Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Challenging Bijan for the starting job.
Yeah. Be ready.
Watch out. I'm drafting him in fantasy for sure. All right, guys. That's got to be the end.
Yeah, we got to end this. We got to get the hell out of here.
Soon. It's been a long day.
Great.
What a great episode. We want to thank you guys for coming in and listening again. And we got some special content along with this episode dropping near the end of the week. So stay tuned for that. More details to come.
Come back on Friday.
Most importantly, I just want to thank you guys. Thanks for being here. Let's give ourselves some applause making this happen. And
thanks, Yoda.
Hopefully the audio isn't screwed up for this
Thanks,
episode,
Yoda.
No, the audio is going to be perfect, Tony. We all have microphones now.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Going forward,
because we care about you, the audience member.
Absolutely.
And your
Something
ears. Like we listened after the last episode, after the shittiness. We went out and we fixed it because we give at least one fuck.
At least one. I would say a total of 3. At least 3.
Over under 1.5.
No, I'm saying 3 total across 1 per each member.
We each give 1. Well, no, I think we each give like a third. Collectively, it's at least 1.
I mean, we all went out bottom. Okay, whatever. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Well, good night, everybody, from the Touchdown Talk. We hope you have a great week. Thank you, and good night.